In today's video, we are going to be talking about something that definitely is not talked about enough when it comes to narcissistic abuse. Today, we're talking about something called post-separation abuse, meaning abuse that a victim is subjected to after the relationship with the abusive person has ended. This is a really unfortunate reality for many victims of narcissistic abuse. Most times the person who is committing the post-separation abuse will be very high spectrum, meaning usually they will fit the diagnostic criteria for malignant narcissism, sociopathy, or psychopathy. And as you can imagine, people with these types of severe pathologies can be very dangerous individuals. So today we're going to talk about some of the most common reasons post-separation abuse occurs, what forms it can take, and things you can do to protect yourself and your loved ones to the best of your ability. But first, if you're new to my channel, I'd like to take a moment and welcome you and invite you to please subscribe and be sure and hit that notification bell because I put out new videos every week. Also, if you are interested in private one-on-one narcissistic abuse recovery coaching with me, please visit my website. It's linked in the description below. Okay, today we're talking about an incredibly unpleasant topic and one I wish I had never had to live through or anyone else. But it's really common for victims of narcissistic abuse and a topic that needs to be talked about. Today we're talking about post-separation abuse, which means we are referring to abuse tactics perpetrated against a victim that occur after the relationship with the abusive person has ended. This is incredibly common when the victim in the relationship ends the relationship with the abuser, or when the victim moves on and starts dating, gets into a serious romantic relationship, or gets married. Why, you might ask, are these the most common circumstances for post-separation abuse to occur? The reasons are because under those circumstances, the narcissist or sociopath suffers a massive narcissistic injury. This is a huge, huge blow to their fragile ego. And unfortunately, when a very high spectrum malignant narcissist receives this type of significant narcissistic injury, in their mind, that must be compensated, equalized, or paid for. And because of that, this usually will result in the narcissist seeking a very damaging and a completely disproportional vicious act or acts of revenge on the previous person they were in a relationship with. You must remember, narcissists view everything in life as a competition, and they have a deep and troubling fear of being seen as a loser or inferior in any way. And if you end a relationship with them, or if you move on in your life with someone else and they feel harmed, cheated, embarrassed, or humiliated in any way, unfortunately for some, they will start subjecting this person to very calculated, very disturbing, and very distressing post-separation abuse tactics, which could last for days, weeks, months, or in some cases, years or even decades. So now let's discuss what are some of the most common post-separation abuse tactics these types of malignant narcissists and sociopaths are prone to use. First, a favorite abuse tactic of theirs is to use a nasty smear campaign, where the narcissist spreads complete lies about you or gross exaggerations about something you did, and they twist and turn it into something that it never actually was. Another way post-separation abuse can present itself is in the form of stalking and harassment, causing tremendous fear, emotional distress, and anxiety. Blackmail is another one of the narcissist's favorite post-separation abuse tactics, where they use compromising information to threaten, manipulate, or coerce you. Parental alienation is another very common abuse tactic that they love to use, where they attempt and in many cases succeed at psychologically abusing your children so severely that they turn them against you, even making them believe that you abandoned them or tell them that you don't love them and that you are dangerous. Sometimes the post-separation abuse can manifest as false allegations of criminal behavior, where they actually try to set you up to be arrested for crimes you did not commit. And unfortunately, many times the narcissist will seek revenge and vindication through legal abuse, where they subject you to years of abuse through the misuse and exploitation of the family courts. I have personally been subjected to years and years of all of these things. This is one of the reasons that I always say, if at all possible, it's always safest if a victim can get the narcissist to discard them instead of the other way around. However, I also know this isn't always possible. And these are just some of the most common post-separation abuse tactics that they use. But there are many others. For example, they also can use all kinds of financial abuse tactics or try to ruin your credit. Many times they try and destroy your career, turn your own family and friends against you, among many other horrible and disgusting things. Now let's talk about some of the things that you can do to try and protect yourself and your loved ones if you are being subjected to post-separation abuse. First, you want to document everything. I would get a journal and keep very good notes with the dates and the events that are happening. Some of these acts you likely won't be able to prove who's doing it, but keep good notes regarding each and every event. This way, if and when you are able to prove something they did, you will have all of the information for law enforcement and hopefully can build a case where you can show this is not a single incident, but a pattern of abusive behavior and criminal behavior. Next, if at all possible, I always recommend trying to get a restraining order if you have the evidence to obtain one. This certainly isn't a guarantee they will stop, but if they don't and you or the police can catch them, they will immediately be arrested. Also, I would invest in very good security cameras outside your house, as many as possible, because if they are vandalizing your home or stalking you, driving by your house at all hours of the night, the cameras should catch it. If you share children with them, I would require a safe pickup and drop off for the kids. For example, I had to do pickup and drop offs at the police station for quite some time. Next, I would make sure to keep all communication through text messages, email, or if you have children with this person, I would get a court order to have all the communication go through a parenting app like Our Family Wizard or Talking Parents. These apps keep a chronological and permanent record of all communications, and you can upload doctors and school records, which will help keep communication to a bare minimum between you and the abusive co-parent. I would also make sure that the schools had a copy of any and all court orders, the divorce decree, and parenting plans. And I would also let them know what you're dealing with, and if the other parent shows up at school unannounced or tries pulling the kids out of school for some reason, that they need to contact you and also the police if necessary. And finally, although this is really expensive, if things are really bad and you have the means, sometimes it might be necessary for you to hire a private security team or armed security guards to protect you. I had to do this for my last custody battle with my ex-husband because he and his family nearly physically attacked me every time I came into the courthouse. And I know he was stalking me and following me around as well. So my attorney at the time contacted a private security company, and I had them escort me to court and other places that I had to go during that time. Also, this might sound kind of crazy, but you might want to consider different options for self-protection, which I also did. Or a guard dog might be something to think about. And for the ladies out there, it might not be a bad idea to take some self-defense classes. Basically, if you are going through this, you want to take it seriously and do whatever you can to ensure your safety and the safety of your loved ones. And finally, if you are going through this, it's very important that you have a support system, someone that you can talk to that understands. And don't ever hesitate to reach out to the domestic violence shelters or advocates in your area. They are there to help and can possibly help you come up with some strategies to help you stay safe. And don't forget to take good care of yourself during this time. The stress someone goes through who is being subjected to this is unimaginable. So do as many things as you can to contribute to your mental and physical well-being. Thanks for watching, everyone.